Okay, hello everybody. Today we're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in the Cessna Skyhawk. Today we have a 102 nautical mile flight from Bravo Uniform Romeo, Burbank International, to Papa Sierra Papa, Palm Springs International. Those are both Class Charlies, and we'll be picking up a flight following to make our flight go a little bit easier. I'll also give you an update on my real-life flight lessons. So let's hop into the pilot seat and get started. It's hard to believe, but I've got 18 lessons in and 34 landings under my belt. At my current pace, my instructor thinks I might be soloing end of this month, beginning of next month, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, we'll open up the in-game checklist and get ourselves started. So our pre-flight inspection is complete. Our seatbelts are locked and in place. Our electrical equipment is all off. Our avionics are off. Our fuel selector is to both, and our fuel shutoff valve is open. In the Skyhawk M I have, there's no fuel shutoff valve, it's part of the fuel selector, you just rotate it down. Alright, we'll get our throttle open to 1/8 an inch, mixture to idle cutoff. We'll check that the propeller area is clear and call it clear prop. Next we'll get the battery switch on and the beacon on. Mixture to rich. We'll turn on the aux fuel pump for 3 to 5 seconds. Turn that back off. Get our mixture to lean. Feet ready to brake. Never trust the emergency brake. And ignition to start. Now we'll get the mixture in after it starts up. And we are good here. So we'll get our throttle adjusted to 1000 RPM. Alright, we'll check our oil pressure. Get our alternator on. We'll check that our alternator indicator is off. And we'll check our ammeter. Get our avionics, bus 1, bus 2 on. Headset won't work till we get the avionics on. We'll turn on our radios. Get our transponder to standby. Our flaps would be down from the pre-flight, so we'll get those up. Set our heading indicator. We'll set our altimeter based on the weather that we got from the radio, and then we will set our attitude indicator by putting the dot on the horizon there. So we're going to click on METAR since we have live weather, and I have the voices turned off here. So that gives us the winds. I cheated a little with the altimeter by hitting the B key just to set it to the altimeter instead of checking the METAR first. Alright, so we're going to dial in the actual frequencies here for clearance delivery. Burbank clearance. Skyhawk 359er Golf Charlie, C172 Slant Golf with information India, request flight services, destination Papa, Sierra Papa, Palm Springs, cruise altitude 5,500. On departure, fly heading 090, maintain VFR at or below 2,500, departure frequency 120.4, squawk 2313, Skyhawk 359er Golf Charlie. In real life, my flight school is underneath a Tersa, and we always pick up flight services just a few miles from the field. Here's what it sounds like for real.
Wilkes-Barre Coach, Skyhawk 172 Tango Hotel, 2 miles north, Wyoming Valley, climbing through 3000, heading to the east practice field.
Hotel 172 Tango Hotel, Wilkes-Barre Approach, with altimeter 2972, ident.
2972 and ident, 2 Tango Hotel.
Alright, I'll open up ForeFlight and take you through the flight brief. So we are departing from Burbank, and we're going to use 2 VORs to navigate ourselves. The first is Pomona VOR, which is 110.4, and then we're going to fly to Palm Springs VOR, which would put us on a really nice approach for a right downwind to runway 31. If I turn off the sectional and go to the aerial map, zoom in on the field, you can see that we are parked near Atlantic Aviation. There we go. So we are here near Delta. We're going to end up taxiing on Delta and Bravo to Bravo 1 for departure from runway 15. Since we're using VOR navigation and not the GPS, we'll need to dial in our course deviation to the desired headings and leave the GPS on VLOC instead of GPS for nav. Alright, pre-taxi checklist. We'll get all of our required lights on. And here's where we'd check that our instruments are working as we start moving and test the brakes. Burbank ground, Skyhawk 359er Golf Charlie, Atlantic Aviation with India, taxi for east departure. Taxi and hold short, runway 15 via Delta Bravo Bravo 1, Skyhawk 359er Golf Charlie. Alright, game on. This is Orbx's Burbank version 2. So I had Burbank version 1. Version 2 is, I'm not sure if it's completely redesigned, but it's got better textures, higher definition, everything. And I really can't tell if it's the airport or something else going on in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but my frames are terrible here. You can see that it's pretty low frame rates just from the video capture. Ground would have sent us to the run-up area instead of to the hold short line, so I'm going to cheat a little bit here and stop in the run-up area and do our run-up before moving forward. Check that our flight controls are free and correct. Alright, in the background we've got live.atc.net streaming. We're also running with live weather and live time, so everything should sync up. You can see the windsock straight ahead to the right, and it is pointing to runway 15, so that's good. The in-game wind is matching up with the METAR, which is matching up with the live weather, so hopefully all of this is right. Burbank Tower, Skyhawk 359er Golf Charlie, holding short, runway 15. Cleared for departure, runway 15, Skyhawk 359er Golf Charlie. Alright, while we take off, I'll tell you a little bit more about some of the flight sim stuff that's helped out in real life training, and by far one of the biggest things has been radio communications. So, Pilot Edge, thank you. I know we're not on Pilot Edge in this video right now, but you know, I've been on Pilot Edge and I've learned a lot of my radio communications there. I've also been on VATSIM, so that's another really good source. But it has just made it so easy for radio communications, both CTAF calls, and I regularly have to talk to ATC. You know, every single flight I have to talk to ATC because we're in a Tersa. So knowing what to say and not freezing up when you hear your call sign hailed by ATC has made it a lot easier. Because when you are learning to fly, there's like a million variables. I mean, it's like overload, and just having one of those variables that you can not have to worry about because you know already how to do it just helps a lot. So big plug. Thank you Pilot Edge. It helped me so much with my flight lessons. I think the sim has helped out with anything procedural or anything really instrument based. You know, you need to have foggle time even as part of your private pilot. I just did foggles on my last flight, and I previously had simulator time with the Redbird simulator in IMC, and it helped. You know, I think you're used to flying by instruments if you fly a flight sim, so that made it a bit easier to fly with foggles on. Alright, we're on track. Let's sit back and enjoy that awesome flight simulator scenery. that was a fun flight, very easy, just 2 VORs to get us to where we want, and the approach to Palm Springs over all of those windmills at the end is pretty cool. So I hope you enjoy content like this and don't mind my endless babbling about my flight lessons. I'm very excited to be doing it. You know, I'll keep talking about it because every time I go up, it's still surreal to me. When I looked at my pilot's log and realized I've done like 30 plus landings, I came to the realization I can land an airplane. Like, how did that happen? You know, it kind of happened kind of quickly. So I'll keep you posted on how it's going. But thanks as always for flying along with me. And if you like content like this, leave me a like, subscribe, and drop me a comment. Thanks, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.